Okay, so I am interested in checking out what the sales trends or patterns were over the time frame that of the data that we collected. So on all our orders, basically. Now I want to compare it by region. All right, so let's write the question down so we can reference to it later. So what is the overall trend in, we said regional sales over time? Okay, perfect. Apply. Awesome. Okay, so we're definitely gonna need sales. We have the measure, and then we're gonna need regional sales. So we're gonna differentiate by region. We have this field, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna differentiate it by color. And then finally, it's over time. So we need a time frame. So we're gonna look at the orders. And before we start investigating the data or building some views and start exploring things, I need to say a word or two on time, or on the time data type in Tableau, because it does, unfortunately, it does have this extra layer of complexity over other date types in Tableau. And if you remember, whenever you're working with dimensions, these blue pills, most of the times they relate to discrete fields, and then whenever you're working with measures, these green pills, they usually relate to this continuous fields, right? And it's very straightforward, and it just makes sense. I mean, however, whenever you're working with date as or time as a data type, then it can be both discrete and continuous. And with continuous, if it was just continuous, it would be logical. At least in my mind, it's logical that time is on this continuum, this continuous line that you're working with. But you see, it can also be this blue pill, which means it can be in the discrete form as well as default. So when do we use both? I mean, is there benefit of using? There's definitely benefit in using it as a continuous field, but what about discrete? And let's look at it very quickly. So I'll add the order date into the view. I'll put in columns, and it did what Tableau does with discrete fields. It created these headers: 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. And when it's so whenever time is a blue pill or discrete, each year is its own bucket. So 2014 and 2017 do not exactly relate in any shape or form. They're just the individual buckets that you're looking at. And let's add sales also into the text. Perfect. So you can see here. So this is a bucket. 2014, we aggregated the data for this discrete mark 2014, or discrete value 2014. So we got $484,000 here, and then for 2017 it's $733,000. Awesome. We can even go deeper a little bit. Look at the quarters. Awesome. So you can see here, bottom left corner, there's 16 marks. So 16 values, and you're like, what are you talking about with this is not a continuum? Look, what's in this view? Because I mean, it's, look, Q1, 2014 Q1, and it goes all the way to 2017 Q4. Makes sense. But this view in particular can be very, very misleading. This is not a continuum whatsoever. These are individual buckets. And look at whenever, so remember, 16 marks, 16 values, which means that Q1 appeared 4 times here. But if we remove year out of it, now we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. 4 marks. There's no years. This is not a continuum. These are individual buckets. This is a Q1 is its own category, its own bucket that has been sliced. The sum of sales have been sliced for Q1 in general. So these are Q1s, these are Q2s, not for just 2014. This is all the Q2s and all the Q3s. And then if you even, actually let me swap it to rows so I can, if you break it down into months, for instance, let me remove this here. These are all the Januaries, these are all the Februaries, these are all the Novembers, and it's its own bucket. There's no continuum that you're working with. I hope this kind of makes sense. And you're wondering what's the I mean, if this is not logical to look at time in this way, what's the benefit of working with time in the discrete form, right? And answer is if you're working with some type of events or specific event that you're trying to look at, and then maybe even compare events. So for instance, immediately there's benefit to this view. So you can see that December sales in December, $325,000. Look at February, actually even better. It's $59,000. So something is happening differently in our orders or sales in December than there are in February. This helps us plan a little bit better moving forward. This is incredibly useful for us. So but again, this is when we're looking at data in its in this specific form. And I mean, if you can look at it from quarters, you can look at it week numbers, weekdays, and etc. So this is, and again, when I clicked, and I want to do it again, click the drop down, checked month. This area here above the line is pushing time into a discrete format, right? Or in a discrete field specifically. Below the line is continuous, right? It's going to turn it into, by default, it's going to turn it into a green pill. It's similar or same with here on the left side. So, all right, let's work now with continuous data and see, because again, let me make this bigger to our view. The question was, what is the overall trend, or what are the overall patterns in regional sales over time? We have to work with a continuum whenever we're trying to figure out trends, whenever we're trying to figure out patterns and whatnot. We need to see the date data on this continuum. So from 2015 to 2017, 18, whatever data has been collected with. So let's change this into, let's just put a year, maybe year and quarter. Yeah, let's do year and quarter so we can get more data points. Year and quarter, we're gonna push it back. The view is not done yet. We're gonna add sum of sales into rows. So then, and here we go. So this is a line chart. We're working with line chart. Let me actually push myself over here. And now we can really dig into this, and you can see now there are 16 marks. Quarter that was in a discrete form was just an individual quarter is now part of the continuum. It's no longer 4 marks or 4 values. Now it's 16 values. So there's 4 Q1s each for each year, and it's connected with data before it and data after. Again, working with time, this makes so much sense. And we wanted to check the regional sales, so we wanted to break this down by region. And I'm going to use, as I said, color. I'm going to push color region in the color mark. There we go. Looks a little hectic, but this is good. This is very good. We click on central. We can start looking at what's happening. So we got Q1, and there's a spike. Q3 goes down a little bit. So let's look at, again, Q1, Q4, there was a spike. Let's see, 2016 Q4 was a spike. 2017, let's see, East as well. Oh yeah, look at East. Look at 2017 Q4 and compared to like 2014 Q1, how different this was. And like let's just look at 2014 Q1 and look at the spike here in 2014. There's definitely some seasonal patterns, some holiday orders that people are getting or whatever. And then like there was a huge in 2017 Q1, and look at 2017 Q4. West has also these spikes in Q4 end of the year. Let's look at South. Oh, South looks different. Okay, so there's definitely no spikes in the southern region. We probably need to investigate what's happening. Why are there no spikes, and see what might have contributed to this. But so anyway, so this is working with time specifically, and working with line charts helps you a lot. You can also, if you're doing some type of a marketing campaign, for instance, you can specifically see if there's any spikes or any increase in orders or sales and whatnot. That will help you with understanding how the marketing campaign has done. So anyway, this is very, very useful. We used to figure out the trend / pattern. We used the continuous field of order date, and we looked at the sum of sales. Awesome. And then we broke it down by region.